Don't forget to breathe. Hey,
we're live.
Podcast just went live.
Click.
That's cool.
That's what I hear.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yep.
You gonna do the whole song?
Nope. No, I am not.
So I did try to convince my son that I used to be Bobby Brown back,
Really?
around the time Ghostbusters 2 came out. Yeah, and he wouldn't believe it.
Why would you do that?
Turns out my son's not stupid.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations.
Good job. Did you try to convince him by doing the rap from On Our Own?
Ghostbusters 2? Yes.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold.
Yeah.
Called the Ghostbusters on the In Control. Had a throw-in party for a bunch of children. All the while the sun was under the building. So they packed the group, got a grip, on packs on their back, and they split. Found out about Vigo, the master of evil. Try to battle my boys. That's not legal. It's illegal.
The way it ended was I said to Ali, "No, you're right. I'm not Bobby Brown. Not anymore." And he was like, "You never were."
Not since I killed Whitney.
Oh boy!
Yikes!
But that's another story
for another day.
All right.
Yep.
Ready to do a clap?
Not.
I've got the clap.
Even a little bit.
Got the clap? All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. We did it.
It's a good clap. It's a good waveform. I'm excited about that waveform.
Yeah,
we did it. I don't even have the outline up.
I love that the suggestion from Ethan has a strike through it. Oh my god. Okay, so how does it feel to be slapped down like that?
I thought I was not respected around these parts, but yeesh.
I mean, Greg, you did that.
Hey, I'm just.
I did not do that. You can check that it didn't come from me. You can check the history of these documents.
Right, you can. It was me.
Hey,
I mean, let's be honest. Ethan doesn't know how to check the history of these documents, but
it's an interesting story. But
the story is not about the guy who. Not that, oh my God, isn't it terrible that he spent $2 million. The story is that he was part of a group that led a boycott. To the,
folks listening, all you're missing is just Ethan whining about spend capping some more.
Yep.
That's all you're missing.
Actually, what you're talking about,
Greg.
Ethan, would be a more interesting story, and I'm surprised that Dean Takahashi, the journalist who wrote the piece, didn't go after that angle when it was clearly there.
Right. Well, and actually, though, right after and based in part on that, one of the guys from Rovio did a talk at Pocket Gamer that said you should be building games where you can make at least $1 million off of customers. So that's what I thought was interesting, is that it used to be that people would say 10,000, now they're saying 1 million, which is
Greg.
interesting.
Off a single customer? That's ridiculous.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I?
do you remember when we weren't going to talk about this on the show?
Oh, right. Sorry.
I would like to escape into virtual reality with Greg right now because I think he's in a better place. As much like a doofy looking RoboCop he may look at the moment.
PSVR, take me away.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 519 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, October 18th, 2016. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from the virtual reality, from the Matrix, really, Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
You're no longer in Canada. You are
no. I've transcended your puny reality.
What do you see right
The setup screen for the play. I see what the PlayStation camera sees. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I don't know if I'm close enough to the microphone, but it's the future.
Can you guess which host of the Player One podcast has no shirt on at the moment?
Is flipping me off at the moment?
No. Yeah, and look at him struggle to get that off now. I gotta see.
Swap. Anyway, we can talk about that later.
Yes. You were, of course, for the people
Pretty
listening
light.
at home, you were just wearing a PlayStation VR headset during this little intro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also joining us from the great state of California, Mr. Phil Theobald. Hello.
This week I am going to just come out of everyone's left ear. I hope nobody minds.
I still don't know what happened there.
It's Greg's fault. Last week,
this is for not being here.
The audio issues are all Greg Seward.
That is. I want to point out that Phil is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Not my fault. If you had been here, I wouldn't have been in charge. So
that's true. You wouldn't have been editing the show.
Like the finger should be pointed straight at you, my friend.
I guess you're right.
I'll tell you what. I'm just glad I was not here for that Player One podcast hit job last week. Time to retire this boring and funny show.
Oh my,
that's right.
What?
Next week is our 10-year anniversary. You realize?
Yeah,
that,
really?
Right?
Is it really?
It is.
Yeesh.
What a waste of
10 years. And also joining us from the great state of California, our recent fourth chair edition. So he
sometimes fourth chair.
He has not been here all 10 years. 10 weeks? No, longer than that.
Imagine 10 years of Ethan weekly.
10 years. Can you imagine 10 years of any of us?
Oh, now we know what his poor wife has to deal with.
10 years ago, I wouldn't be complaining about spend capping. It would have been a totally different Ethan, you know?
Oh,
yeah. 10 years ago, he would have been going off about how Kai is going to turn the PS2 around.
Hey,
Silver
game...
the Hedgehog was the greatest character ever created at Sega.
No, but I maintain that Kaya was a whole lot of hurt in a belly shirt, and she's really overlooked. Yeah.
When's the remastered HD version of that coming out? That's what I want.
Yeah.
Not soon enough is the answer, of course.
Did I say you were like really into?
Did I even say your name, Ethan? Ethan Einhorn, Mr. Ethan Einhorn.
Yes. Happy to be on the show here because out here in Half Moon Bay, California, it is Pumpkin Festival season. So that means that to drive even a quarter of a mile, you're looking at being in traffic that's about an hour and a half long. It's crazy.
Okay.
That's bad.
Yeah,
That's bad.
I don't know if I made the mistake. Ethan made the mistake of inviting me over to his place during the fall pumpkin season.
That's right.
And a trip that should have taken about an hour and a half ended up taking about 3 hours.
Yep, it's pretty awful. We've learned from that, but yeah.
There's one road in and out of that town, and
it's a one-road town.
Right now, everybody is using it to go pick pumpkins.
To be fair, Phil didn't really come to visit me. It's that we had a really great fudge place that was in town that he wanted to check out. But now that fudge place is gone, and we've never seen Phil in Half Moon Bay again.
The candy shop.
The candy shop, yeah.
The fudge place is that place you used to go to that we weren't supposed to talk about.
Oh, downtown St. Fran? Yeah.
Yes.
Did you? I thought you weren't supposed to talk about it, though. Wasn't that the...
Too late.
Speaking of mistakes...
What?
So, I don't know if you guys heard the news last weekend.
CJ's favorite game's getting a remake.
Would the fudge place be some sort of scat bar?
Like with Scat Cat from Paula Abdul's
music
exactly.
Hey, don't bring MC Scat Cat into this.
The thing that people
is an innocent cat.
The thing that most people don't remember is there was a B-side to that single, my friends.
What's there?
With MC Scat Cat?
Yeah, there was no Paula Abdul. It was just MC Scat Cat.
What? I don't remember this.
Look it up.
I had the single.
So did I.
Opposites attract. Back with what? What was the name of the song?
I don't remember.
I never played that side of the recording.
I listened to that side of the cassette, but I don't remember it.
Tell me the title of the song had a parenthetical statement in it.
It better.
Sure.
Like the name of the song was like MC Scat Cat, parentheses, Bustin' Loose. Something along those lines. Anytime a song has a parenthetical, I am amused.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Gorillaz are coming out with a new album. Where is the new MC Scat Cat? Maybe they could tour together.
Are they going to have a tribute to Harambe?
Good Lord.
Get it? Because he was a gorilla?
Oh, right.
Get it?
Right.
Get it? Get it? It's a meme.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard the weather news last week, but Hurricane Matthew went through the Caribbean and up Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, all that stuff. And I went on a cruise,
smart
Caribbean
planning
cruise.
Yeah,
that left on Monday right after the hurricane was through. And speaking of mistakes, just a little bumpy, just a little bumpy, little turbulence.
Well, at least you don't get motion sickness or anything like that.
I do get motion sickness.
There's no problem. This is fine.
Why would you want to go on a cruise anyway?
That's true. That is a good question.
Did your wife make you go, CJ?
My wife made me go. It was a birthday present for her grandmother. We brought her along too, and let me tell you, she got sick too.
Did you think at all about the fact
happy birthday, Graham? Here's some nausea.
The possibility that you could have just skipped that and bought a PSVR for a lot less money. Actually,
got all the seasickness that I wanted to. Yeah. No, I had the C bands on. You know those little things that do the acupuncture thing. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I heard about those for the first time this week. Actually, looking up motion sickness stuff because of the PlayStation VR, and I had no idea those existed.
Yeah, so I put those on, and then I also had to take Dramamine because it was just too bad, bad. But it was a rocky time, and then Grandma.
I hope it was one of those rocky time.
Yeah, really, that's bad in a boat.
Seasick patches that people put on like behind their neck, and it gave her some kind of poisoning, and she was hallucinating. It was real fun.
Oh my god!
She asked me like how my 2 kids are, and I was like, 2 kids.
Here you go, Graham.
How do you know about that?
My wife looked at me. I looked at her. I was like, I don't have 2 kids. I don't know what
Put this
talking
tablet
about.
on your tongue, Graham. This will help you with the.
I thought I covered my tracks so well.
It was I can laugh about it now, but it was actually kind of scary. And then we went to the ship medic, and we described the symptoms, and they immediately were like, "Oh, you have one of those patches on for the seasickness. Take that off immediately and go take a shower, and it'll wear off in a couple hours."
What?
So apparently that's a thing that can happen.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't know.
Medicine in the United States scares the crap out of me.
I've learned combining seasickness, which I also get, with a sunburn is the worst ever because you're like dehydrated and sleepy and
hallucinating,
trying to handle the waves. Yeah.
See, Greg, this is why I never leave my house.
I don't blame you.
I guess the good news for the podcast and for everybody's audio quality is I probably won't be going on a week-long cruise anytime.
Oh, that's it. Fine. Yeah, twist the knife. That's cool.
See, it seems to me that a cruise is just you floating around with your poop for a week.
Yep. Because where does it go?
Where does it go?
It's like an airplane. It goes right in the ocean.
They just dump it in the ocean?
Well, I mean, why not?
Because it's the ocean?
Okay.
The ocean doesn't need your poop.
Well, what does it need?
Boy, that just brought the entire show to a screeching halt.
Speaking of poop, I don't know if you saw this news from last week that you talked about last week. Voodoo Vince being
your
remastered.
favorite game's getting a remaster.
And Greg, you mischaracterized my opinion on Voodoo Vince.
It's your number one game of all time? I just said you liked it. I didn't know it was like your favorite thing ever.
It's no Blinks the Time Sweeper.
I liked Blinks more than I liked Voodoo Vince.
What?
I like Blinks. Blinks is good. Voodoo Vince, I just thought it was a very mediocre platformer. I really saw nothing special in it. And it was one of those games that Dave Halverson loved and evangelized from the rooftops. And a lot of people bought into it and bought the game and have fond memories of it. I'm not one of those people. And I think when the remaster comes out, it may be glaringly obvious how middle of the road it is. We'll see.
Okay. CJ?
Yeah.
Rank the following 3 games in order from best to worst.
Oh, God.
Voodoo Vince. Vex. Dr. Muto.
Vex.
Vex.
Dr. Muto. Wow.
I thought Dr. Muto was actually pretty good. Wasn't there a version of Dr. Muto that was serviceable?
Wasn't that the same Christmas that Beyond Good and Evil and
wasn't that the same Christmas where Christmas died?
Yeah. No, I just remember seeing that anyway.
Did you say?
Wait a minute.
Did you say
Vex
Blinks? Because Blinks is awesome.
No, I said Vex.
Vex.
I think Dan Shu gave the GameCube version of Vex a 9, if I remember correctly.
Really?
I think you're right. I
think so.
remember one version of those games being good. I don't remember which one that was.
Okay.
But
Or maybe Dan
So
was
any criticisms of my review of Kaya, just let's forward that to the Vex review from EGM instead.
Kaya. Does anybody remember that game?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Send in your replies at P1 Podcast. Let's hear from Kaya fans if you want to remaster.
Kaya fans, plural.
I am pretty sure that the hosts of the Player One Podcast could buy the rights for Kaya.
Hey,
not expensive.
Turn it
in
into
the chat,
free-to-play.
the chat said apparently Hacker Alias Thorbon 3 says that the guy who did Vex went on to make Henry Hatsworth.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Okay, I liked Henry
That's a
Hatsworth.
decent game. Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
Okay, hey,
Yeah.
look at that. I
Anyway,
learned
Voodoo
something
Vince-
today.
Very, very mediocre.
Voodoo Vince
Anyway.
only in CJ's top 10.
I don't even own a copy of it, ironically. It's not Flogan Brothers.
I own a copy of Voodoo Vince.
I
You do?
do not.
Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez. All right. Let's get on to some actually important news. And that's the current thing that rocked Twitter this morning. Rockstar Games changed their, or they posted a new image and then changed their Twitter image to this. Is the R logo amidst a red background. And that got the internet talking that, oh my God,
We are red E for Bully 2.
that they're about to announce a Red Dead.
I was hoping for a ping pong sequel.
Oh, that'd be
yeah.
a good one too. When's that coming out? Ping Pong VR. That could be good, actually. That was a good game.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Ping Pong. Rockstar Ping
It
Pong.
came out like so early that everybody bought it for some reason.
Everybody. I have a copy of that.
Weird.
But anyway, yeah. So apparently people are saying, "Oh, this is a Red Dead tease," and maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
I hope it's not. I hope it's like State of Emergency 2 or something. Wait, there was a State of Emergency 2.
Yeah, there was.
already one of those.
From
Three.
Viz Interactive, yeah.
Emergency 3.
Yeah. So maybe it's that, or maybe this week we'll get some news on Red Dead.
EGM Darling's State of Emergency.
Man, that was back in the day where it's just like, oh, it's a Rockstar game, so it's going to be a massive hit. Let's cover it.
But a new Red Dead, man, the last game just ages so well.
Yeah.
I don't think you could announce a game that I'd get more excited about at this point.
I think it's, except for Kaya 2, right? Or Kaya Remastered. We've covered that.
Voodoo Vince.
Right.
I think you're right, though. I mean, I think the time is right for that. You got Westworld on TV. People are thinking about Westerns. It's, it's a good time for that.
Bunghole in 2.
I mean, Adult Swim Games has double-barreled Westerado coming out pretty soon.
Yep.
Here.
God.
Well, that I think is going to be the
For
trigger.
the Xbox One. Yeah, exactly. It was our game.
Trigger. I get it.
Clearly.
I get it. Trigger. It's good.
Boys Don't Cry is shooting up the pop charts with their new hit, I Want to Be a Cowboy.
I thought you were talking about the movie for a second.
What about that song from, was it the Escape Club that did Wild
Wild West?
Yeah.
Oh, the 90s, living in the 80s.
Did we already use that as an outro song?
I don't know, but we should. Either that or we can use
forward to
the
it in about
B-side.
an
We can use the B-side from Opposite the Track, which, by the way, was called One or the Other.
One or the other.
If I can find that.
You know that's the end of the show.
Chiptune MC Scat Cat.
Chiptune covers of MC.
Xbox Bing Chiptune MC Scat Cat.
Alrighty, so in other news,
Yeah.
we've got Xbox One topping the NPDs now for 3 months straight.
It's because of Forza.
Well, it's also probably because of the Xbox One S, and also the fact that, just like last year, they have a better lineup of exclusive games.
And
So-
aren't they cheaper still, or is that?
The machines? I'm not sure.
Because they did that complete fire sale in July, where you could get the older models of Xbox One fairly cheaply.
Well, I would imagine another big driver is that if you're going to get a PlayStation 4, you probably are going to be waiting until November for the Pro, right? Or at least a lot of people who are going to make a purchase.
Do you know anyone who has pre-ordered the Pro?
No.
I don't either. That thing looks ugly. Really kind of shot themselves in the foot by making the PS4 Slim look so nice, and then announcing.
I don't know how much they know about form factors. I'm an expert.
I mean, I know it's a black box in front of your TV and all, but
well, and so I've been really curious. I've heard that with the PSVR, the way the cords stick into that breakout box is it's kind of messy. How does it look under your set now, Greg?
Looks like a lot of cables.
Got a lot of cables there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it. We can get into all that if you want now, or we can wait until we're talking about VR in general. But the breakout box it's got 4 cables coming out the back, 2 cables coming out the front, and one of those cables goes into the one of the USB ports in the front of your system.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cableage.
Should we just get into the PSVR experience now?
Sure.
I wanna hear about the setup. How did that go?
The setup is extremely fast and easy, to be honest. I mean, I just mentioned a whole bunch of cables, but the way that the system has been built.
Now, are you comparing it to the Vive and the Oculus? Because you do have some experience.
I do. I don't have a lot of experience setting those up, although I have, like, a bunch of guys at work have bought the Vive. And my understanding is you've got an hour or so of setup there.
It's hilarious because they have this countdown that says 25 minutes, but it's actually closer to an hour. Yeah.
It was way less than 20 minutes to set up the PlayStation VR.
Hey, Greg?
Yeah.
Just more towards your wheelhouse here. How would you compare the setup to setting up a 32X?
About the same.
Really?
About the same.
Really?
No, because one of the nice things is, and I'm not going to, the cables are a little bit too far away, but the way it's packaged, the way the whole box comes, like, all the little bits and pieces are packaged separately. So you get a USB cable, an HDMI cable, the power cable, obviously, and all the cableage that goes between the breakout box and the headset itself, set of headphones, and there's one other cable that I can't think of right now. But anyway, they're all numbered. They all have little tags on them. And it's literally like it's like, okay, so take cable 2, plug it in here. Cable 3 goes in here. Take the HDMI cable off the back of your system, plug it into the back of the breakout box. Then plug this other HDMI cable from the breakout box to your TV. And then the actual cables that connect your headset to the breakout box, they're actually really well designed because there are 2 cables, which I'll try to show here on the screen, although it's kind of dark in here. So I don't know that you'll be able to see this, but so you have one which is basically an HDMI connector, and there's one that's similar shape. But the thing that you'll see if you look it up, and I don't know that it'll come through here. Well, maybe it does on this camera. You'll see those the little PlayStation symbols there, right? The square, X, circle, and triangle, and you'll see that the plugs match up.
Oh, that's nice.
So
that's
it's
nice.
kind of a nice little way to get you to put it in the right spot. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, you plug it all in. The system recognizes it right away, especially if you just had updated the system recently. All the software is there.
Yeah.
And
so
it
you
just pops up like when you connect any other, when you turn on any other device, like say you plug in your headset to your controller, you know how you have that little thing that slides into the top left of the screen that says the microphone is now the headset thing, right?
Yeah.
Exactly what it does when you have the VR, and then you're off and running.
Nice.
So you bought the core unit,
I
right?
did, yeah, because I already had a Move controller. Although I really wish I had a second one. I'm not spending $130 on 2 more Move controllers.
Right. So for you only having one Move controller, how's that? Are you able to play games with one Move controller?
The only thing that I haven't been able to play yet is Job Simulator, because it actually does ask for 2 Move controllers. Everything else I've been able to play that was on that demo disc.
Okay.
So,
and hey,
of course, Sony is selling a bundle now of 2 Move controllers, but it's $100.
which is it's like 130 here, and that's great, but you can't buy them separately. You have to buy the set of 2, which
Greg, be patient with me, but I can take a look in my garage, and I may have a single Move controller.
Oh, I appreciate that. I actually just bought one used off Amazon.
Oh, okay.
It should be here this week. So, and I have enough.
How much was that?
I think I paid like $40 for it.
Okay, not bad.
Which is actually kind of more than I feel like it's more than I would have paid had I bought it before this thing was announced. But still not bad, So, and you're off and running almost immediately. And the nice thing is that where I already have my PlayStation camera set up, I already had it attached to my system anyway. I mean, it just the first thing it does is when you fire up the demo disc that it comes with, which has like 17 demos on it.
Crazy amount.
Yeah, is that it just shows you an image from the camera right in your headset, and you've got these. If anyone's watching the YouTube, and anybody, I mean, if you've looked this up, you've got these tracking lights on the front of your system, the front of your headset. Basically says make sure that these are in this little box on the screen, and as soon as you hit X, then the system or the demos boot up, and you're off to the races.
Now, I did hear that the system has some difficulty if there is a mirror, which I obviously in your living room there, it's got a mirror right there.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually, I do. And also, I've been playing with the light on, which you can't. Well, if you've watched this show before and you've ever seen my living room light on, you actually see it reflecting in the mirror.
Yeah.
So the camera has actually had to deal with the 3 lights on my ceiling, plus the reflection of those 3 lights in the mirror, plus the light from the television reflecting in the mirror. And I have had. So far playing, I mean, I've had this thing on for hours this week, and I've had maybe 2 tracking issues the whole time. Because, for anybody who doesn't know, this isn't like a Vive or anything like that where they've got, all the lasers tracking everything. Everything is literally tracked from these blue lights on the front and back of the headset.
And also the controller light.
And the controller light, yep, which, the light bar on the controller. Or again, if you're using a Move, the light globe at the end of the Move controller.
Yeah.
And actually the worst tracking issue, I should say I've only had 2 tracking issues with the helmet, or the headset itself. The worst tracking issues you'll have are with the controller. The system has real trouble tracking the controller sometimes.
Have you been sitting down the whole time, or has it been some up, some down, or what?
I've done both. When I first started, I was standing the whole time, which for most games, I actually prefer, but there are certain games like, as an example, Rush of Blood, which is one of my favorite demos. I'm definitely buying that.
Until Dawn, Rush of Blood.
It's an Until Dawn game. So it's a horror-based game. The whole idea is you're supposed to be sitting in. I think you start in a wheelchair, but it's basically a roller coaster.
Yeah,
that's it. It's this roller coaster shooting gallery. Which, let me tell you, when you're standing. That can mess with your head because there's a lot of dips and it's like, whoa, I'm not feeling so hot here. But the thing is that because it orients itself based on where you centered the thing when you started, if you sit down after you've centered it messes with everything. I thought, but I'm actually wrong about that. That was going to be my main complaint. But the way the thing is set up is that at any time, if you hold the option button on the PlayStation 4 controller, it'll recenter your view. It'll keep tracking the way it's been tracking, but it'll recenter everything on the screen.
That's handy.
Yeah, because my biggest complaint was that most games or experiences don't tell you should be standing for this or you should be sitting for this. And I thought that there was no way to reset it if you were in game and you wanted to sit down or stand up, but there is. You just hold that option button and it recenters everything.
How fast does it do that? Do you have to hold it down?
It's like 3 seconds.
Okay, not bad. Yeah. So which full games did you get, or did you start off with the demo disc?
I have grabbed Batman, but I haven't tried it yet.
Oh man.
I've been going through, and I've got Res Infinite, which we probably mentioned here that the wonderful Mark McDonald actually sent us codes for Res Infinite. So thank you very much, Mark.
Which, by the way, is as fantastic as a 2D game, I would imagine, as it is a VR experience.
I'll tell you, it's awesome in VR. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I would imagine.
And it doesn't. It's
think
weird
so.
because you want to stand up while you're playing it, but there's so much movement. I was kind of thinking like, oh god, this is going to be really disorienting, but it's really not. I don't know what it is about it, but like I'm standing there and it's throwing you around all over the levels, and it still feels great. So yeah, it's and yeah, playing it in VR is just incredible, just absolutely incredible. So yeah, those are the only two full games I have. Although I've been telling everybody all week that I wish I had like $300 or $400 to spend because I could so easily do it. Like Thumper, I'm going to buy. Thumper is incredible.
Oh,
yeah.
I was just going to say, having gotten a VR headset myself and not limiting the spending, it can get to $300 a lot faster than you'd think. So,
my spend cap on buying those VR games.
It's
Sky's the
brutal. But yeah, Thumper, which you can play without VR, and it's a great little game. But like all it is it's just a music game. You're on a track and you're doing motions based on music, which I've actually got, and CJ, you can link this in the show notes. I've actually got the demo playthrough on my YouTube channel right now.
Awesome.
And you can play, but when you can play it without VR. When you play in VR, it just, like, of course, having everything right an inch from your face, it just ups the intensity so much. It just makes it an incredible experience. So I will be grabbing that. Yeah, I mean, I could grab a lot of them.
Yeah. What about the big picture mode for that, or the playing regular PS4 games?
Big picture mode is okay. That's probably my least favorite part about it right now. The nice thing is that you can so the way it works when you're in a non-VR experience, like when you just have the screen on, with the breakout box. First of all, everything can pass through the breakout box, no problem. It seems like you can just leave the thing hooked up if you want, which is really nice.
Unless you want HDR.
Unless you want HDR, which I don't have a problem with. Although what I did notice the other night is that as long as the thing is plugged in, the fan's running. So
really?
I actually started unplugging it when I wasn't using my system. But anyway, yeah, it's got basically, it's like you're sitting in a movie theater. It's all black around it, and you can actually set the screen to 3 different sizes, which is nice. You can set it to a small size. Medium is kind of where I like it. Large, it actually pushes the edges out of your view a little bit. So it's almost like sitting in an IMAX, like probably halfway up in an IMAX theater, I would say, maybe. And it's okay. I'm not crazy about it. And the one thing I did find is that as far as I can tell, actually does not use the lights to track. Because it's in front of your, like, if you move your head to the left, it moves with you a little bit, but I found that it drifts. It was almost not noticeable. The only way I noticed it was I wanted to test it. So I was sitting in a chair, like actually my desk chair, and I started facing my screen and I pulled the thing on, and I kept noticing that I had to turn my head to the left a little bit. So I kept adjusting my chair. And by the time I took the thing off, I was probably facing this way. Like I was a good like 30 degrees to the left. So it was weird that it was happening, but again, I haven't had that problem happen in the actual VR experiences.
Okay,
so
interesting. So what was the first thing you booted up?
Res was the first thing I booted up. The Res demo. It followed quickly by Thumper because I'd heard so many great things about it. But I mean, again, if I had the money right now, I would go grab Thumper. Battlezone is incredible.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big nerd for anything that puts you in like a cockpit situation, and Battlezone is really well done that way.
I've heard the Polytron one is awesome.
Is that the
it's Super Hypercube, right?
You know what? Yeah. That is not. There is no demo for that, so I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
Eve Valkyrie is incredible. Love it. Space shooter. Tumble VR I would grab because it's probably pretty cheap, and all that is just a block stacking game. Wayward Sky is really cool. It's basically like an adventure game, like a point and click adventure game, but you play in the virtual world. And Rush of Blood is awesome. I am going to be grabbing Rush of Blood with no questions asked. Yeah, and then, but I mean, I've tried all of them. It's a really nice selection of demos. Like you've got the kitchen demo in there, which is of course Resident Evil 7.
Mhm.
The Playroom stuff is awesome. My kids and I had a great time with that. Which actually, I think the full version of Playroom came with the headset. So this is basically, if you remember when PS4 launched, and if you had a camera, they had this Playroom set up where it was, like all using the camera, where these little robots would be in your controller. You could fling them around the screen, and there was a bunch of little mini games and stuff like that. So it's similar to that, but in this, it's actually multiplayer. It's like couch multiplayer with one person with the headset on, and then other people either just like talking to you or using the controller. And it's really great, and it looks gorgeous. Yeah, I had a great time playing it with my kids. Like, there's one where you're playing like a monster rampaging through a city, and if you're the monster, you're seeing everything from the monster's viewpoint, obviously, and you just use headbutts to smash buildings and try to hit them with the pieces, whereas they're using the controllers to run away from you, and eventually they stop on a platform, they start throwing stuff at you, so you have to duck and move away from it and all that. And then there's like a Ghostbusters style game where if you're using the headset, you have a controller that you're using as kind of your zapper, but you can't see anything. The people in the room have to tell you where the ghosts are. So just a bunch of cool little experiences like that, and we were having a blast with it. It was so much fun. So yeah, it's I'm super happy. I could not be happier with this. I haven't had technical issues. Super easy to hook up, easy to plug in and unplug. Yeah, and all the stuff I've tried so far. Some things have been a little bit freaky, like Drive Club made me sick like crazy.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep. Which, if you look all over the internet, everyone's saying that. So I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah.
So, Greg, how do you feel about opening up and trying and playing the PSVR compared to opening up, trying and playing the PS4 when you first got it? Does any one of those experiences feel more like next gen, or is it a similar thing, or what?
Oh, this feels leaps ahead for sure. PS4, opening up and playing PS4 and Xbox One for the first time, that was awesome in kind of a gamer nerd kind of way, because I could see the difference. But I mean, the games themselves aren't different, right? They look better. The games are different. This is something completely new, for me. And like I say, the biggest thing for me is that it's so easy to hook up and play. It's so easy to disconnect, or even like little things about this, like the way this headset is designed is what impresses me so much. So you've got this little remote, which is your audio, turns your microphone on and off, and actually turns the headset itself on and off. And it also, you put your headphones in there, which hangs down on your chest. On the back, to take the thing off, all you have to do is press this button, and then the whole halo just pulls apart. And then when you want to tighten, you just click this little wheel. And then it's also on front, there's a little button underneath the headset that if you press it, you can slide it
backwards
up and down, in and out. So like,
that's great.
You don't, and when you have that little home button to reset center on your screen, like I'm playing with my kids. Obviously, my kids are a lot shorter than I am. But it's so easy to take this thing off and put it on again, and center it on the screen. Like, you never have to worry about resetting the tracking ever. And
that's great.
The headset itself doesn't seal to your face. So there's not a big sweating issue. You can wear glasses with it, no problem. The cuff is really really pliable rubber, basically.
So it sounds like you'd agree with the general public consensus that this is the best designed headset of the three.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And all the weight of the headset is up on your forehead. It does not sit on your nose.
Oh, really?
No.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's great. It's really great. Which also, again, makes it easy for, like, I let my kids play it. They're a little bit young, so they're only allowed to play for a few minutes at a time. But, there's never any complaint about it fitting them properly or anything. It's very versatile. It's very well designed physically.
So when you're playing, your couch seems a little bit far away from the TV area. Are you playing from the couch, or are you pulling your chair over?
No, I normally pull a chair forward. That's generally how I play my games anyway, because I usually play with headphones on. So and I don't use wireless headphones. That being said, the amount of cable that comes with this thing, I don't know the exact distance, but I could sit on my couch, no problem.
You could? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what the tracking distance is on the camera. I haven't played with that too much. Apparently, there's a utility in Tomb Raider for the PS4 that does a really good job of showing you what the limits of the camera are. So I got to fire that up and try it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you using the included headset or are you using something else?
I'm using the included headphones.
Headphones?
Yeah. But I mean, it'll take any standard.
Are they
standard
good?
headphones.
Like, how are they in terms of headphones? Because
they're
the
okay.
piece that came with the PS4 was not.
Oh yeah, they're better than that. And I mean, they're the ones that they have like the rubber cuffs on them.
Oh,
and
great!
It actually comes with 2 replacements because the ones that are attached to it are the bigger ones, but it comes with the medium and small ones as well. So
okay, interesting.
Replace it if you need to.
I've actually been using the Vita headset that Sony put out. Yeah? You can get that pretty cheaply, and it works really well on the PS4. And my wife actually prefers the Vita headset to any other headphones she's ever had, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, those are available quite cheaply now. If you are looking for a replacement.
The only thing that's tough is for me, I love to have one pair of headphones that I use for everything.
Everything? Yeah.
Yeah. And so the problem with the Vita headphones, great as they are, is if you are doing the dishes or something where you're going to be interrupted and you're listening to a podcast, you can't just click to pause.
That's true.
Yeah. And I mean, I would normally wear... I have big over-ear headphones that I normally wear for my games, but the thing is they have a really long coiled cable on them, so I won't use them for this because the weight of that cable would actually drag down a lot. So I'm not. You really want to use earbuds.
Yeah, that's
or
probably
something
smart.
with less cable on it.
But I have been to date been wearing when I'm doing VR the same headset you see right here, and the sound is really good, but it makes the whole thing very hot very quickly.
Yeah, that's the other thing with over-the-ear headphones too. Yeah.
So how long in a stretch have you had the headset on? Like, what's the longest amount?
The first night, I think it was like 3.5 hours. I didn't take the thing off.
Oh, jeez.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. The lenses were getting a little fogged
there
up.
was all kinds of like your skin had attached itself to the.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
How bad is the fogging?
It's not terrible. Like, one of the things is where it doesn't really seal to your face. If you're in a really, really brightly lit room, you will get light leaking in a little bit. But that being said, because it's so easy to adjust, there are a lot of different stops on that slide to move the headset in and out. So honestly, if you have a fogging issue and you just want to cool it off a little bit, you can just slide it out a tiny bit and keep using it.
Okay.
And it will cool off.
What about apps like Netflix and Hulu? Can you just use the PS4 apps or not?
You can do, as far as I can tell, you can use the PS4 normally. It just goes into that cinema mode.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. I haven't had a problem running anything. I was actually playing Rise of the Tomb Raider on the headset earlier. I didn't get to play the VR thing because it was still downloading by the time the show started, so I didn't get to try that part out. But while I was waiting for it to download, I was just playing the game. There's a VR component in Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it's any good or not, but yeah, it's there. So I'm going to try it.
Incidentally, as somebody who does eventually plan on getting the PSVR, I think that's a really smart thing for games to have a minor VR component, because that would be the difference for me between buying a PS4 or Xbox One version.
For sure.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and there are some games, I think, was it Super Stardust on PS4 updated with like a VR
component.
Quite a few that did,
and it's completely different than Super Stardust, by the way. I don't know if you've watched any video of it. It's a first person. You're in like a tank on the surface of one of the planets.
Oh, no, that's cool.
It's not, because I kind of assumed. I think everybody did. I kind of assumed like it's just a 3D version of Super Stardust Ultimate or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
But it's not. You're actually sitting in like a cockpit of a tank or something.
Oh,
those guys
on the surface of the planet.
Those guys are so great. I remember the Super Stardust in 3D on 3D TVs being the only time I was ever impressed with 3D TV, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, I'm super happy with it. Like I said, I could and Ethan, I know exactly what you mean, because everything's like $20 and I could easily spend $300 on everything I want right now. Like it's all I can do not to go out and spend at least $100.
And actually, I think that's going to be the profile of a lot of players, where you play an experience, you have a good time, you're okay with the fact that it wasn't a very long experience, because you're so eager to get to the next one. And so I can easily see myself, there's not been a week that's gone by yet where I haven't bought a VR game, and usually it's 2 or 3.
Yeah, see, and I could easily do that as well. One of the things that I wanted to sort of throw out there, there are some other types of demos on that disc, and they're basically 3D movies. the Within app has a bunch of 3D movies, which they're okay, but the video quality is pretty low. I'm guessing that's because they're part of a big demo disc. I don't really know though. But there was one in there called Allumette, which is it's actually a rendered 3D, like it's being rendered in real time as far as I can tell, 3D film that you can actually get the entire thing for free on right now, as well as there's another one I was watching as well. But it's really cool, and it's funny because I talk about my son a lot on here. He's a gamer. My daughter is not, but she was very interested in trying this out. And when she discovered Allumette, it's just like this little sort of. It looks almost like claymation, but it's like a stop motion claymation film. She loved it. Like she absolutely adored what she was seeing, and it was really cool because you're standing there and this whole thing is playing out around you, and little things like they live in this little airship. And at one point in a scene, it floats right in front of your face, and the main character is sitting up on the bow, and you kind of, if you stand on your tiptoes, you can kind of see in that there's stuff going on in the ship. And of course, where it's VR, you just stick your head forward and you break through the wall. You can actually see like the little engine running, and her mother's sitting at a desk writing a letter, and it's just really, I don't know, it was just really sort of, it's really cool. And so I've been having some fun playing with that sort of stuff too, with like 360 films and everything as well. So there's a lot to like here.
So who in the family has tried it then? Did you have any older folks try it?
Any? Haven't had any adults. I had a couple of the guys that I play games with were going to come over this week, and then they ended up not being able to. But this weekend they're going to come over this week and try it out. They're dying to. But no, mostly it's been me and my kids.
Well, and sir, let me know when you have your friends who have Vive try it, because I've heard actually very favorable comparisons that people who have the early experience still love this one, in part because there are so many games that you can play on PSVR that I can't on Vive.
Right. That's, I mean, like I say, I have a bunch of guys at work that have the Vive, and I'm actually going to see if I can wrangle a time where they can all come over and check this out, because none of them have PSVR, and they've said the same thing. It's like, I'm sitting there raving about like Rush of Blood, or I think Thumper as well. I'm not sure. In like Res Infinite, it's like that none of that stuff is stuff they can play right now. So,
right. And as I predicted, this is now when finally you're seeing actual reviews of games. It is a really strange thing to think about, the fact that for both Oculus and Vive, there are no Metacritic reviews for those games. You cannot find reviews. Second PSVR comes out, suddenly IGN has a new VR page.
It's legit. It's mainstreamed VR for now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully it keeps up. But it's a great. I gotta say, it's a great launch. It's a very niche product. But for what it is, the amount of content out there that's impressive is really nice. Like, there's a lot of it. So, it's a great launch. I would say probably one of the better launches of any hardware I've seen.
Yeah, well, I think the fact that Sony got that demo disc together with that many demos on it.
Oh, my God.
It's just, I mean, they clearly know that you have to demo these games. And I've seen a lot of people online saying, oh, I played the demo of Wayward Souls, and I was so impressed with it that I immediately bought it. Like, it just amazed the hell out of me. So, like, I'm sure there are a lot of games like that where maybe it wasn't, the Batman thing or the Star Wars thing that you were initially interested in VR for, but you're going to play the demo and you're going to find something that you're interested in.
And that's the thing. It's like, not only that, but it's also that demo makes it such a great showpiece, because I mean, I said I had it on for like 3.5 hours the first night. I didn't get through the entire demo disc that night.
Right.
I went back and played a couple things again, right? But I didn't play everything on the disc that night, and that was 3.5 hours worth of content. So no matter who comes to look at it, the breadth of content they have in there and the different types, what interactive and non-interactive, M-rated, E-rated, whatever. Like, there's so much to see and do on there that it's fantastic.
What would you say, like, and if you have you played all of the things on the demo disc then?
I have now.
You have now, okay. So
I think
if somebody comes over to your house and wants to see PSVR, where are you going to start them off?
The key, I mean, depending on who they are, like Rush of Blood is definitely way up there. Res, Thumper, Battlezone, Riggs.
Eve is really impressive too, sitting in that cockpit.
Eve is super impressive, yes. And Wayward Sky, I would show certain people. I know, like, anybody who likes it. I think Phil, you'd probably really like that.
Oh yeah,
it's more adventure gamey. So.
I think I called it Wayward Souls.
Yeah,
Greg, when you get that second move controller, I'll also want to know in a follow-up talk, as you show it to other people, do they find the experience of using those two controllers in VR more or less accessible than a controller for more casual people, for when you show it to your parents, say? Because I have found personally that with the Vive and the two controllers, people have an easier time acclimating to playing games, like my kids, like my 6-year-old or my father-in-law, than touching that controller.
Well, not every game supports the Move controllers, right? So that might be part of, and some games are only Move controllers.
Right now, the only one that I can't play is Job Simulator. Like with Rush of Blood, it wants you to play with two Move controllers, but if you just have a single PS4 controller, what it'll do is get you to hold it straight out like that, and then basically it simulates you holding your two guns, because it's a right. But they both point in the same direction, basically. They're all using the light bar, but what it wants you to use, obviously, is two Move controllers.
Cool.
Sweet. That took up a lot of time.
But time well spent. I mean, it's rare that you get a launch like this, and it's so hard to get a sense, if you haven't tried VR before, what it's like. So I think going into depth is valuable.
What I think, for me, the real triumph of this is, again, the ease of use. And I remember talking about this, and David Braben, who created Elite, which is one of the big VR games right now, he called out a long time ago, when it was just sort of Oculus was the main player, that he felt like VR was a bad thing in a way, in that it's much more isolating, and we've really lost the idea of couch multiplayer in a lot of ways. We were talking with this. A bunch of us from work went to lunch the other day, and actually the owner of the company was kind of complaining that he finds it hard to find games that he can play with his kids. Like, he likes racing games. His kid likes racing games. You don't get a lot of, and also like Halo, you don't get a lot of split screen multiplayer anymore. Right. And what I find funny is that, yes, VR is very isolating, but when you see something like Playroom, Sony has done an incredible job making VR a couch multiplayer thing. Because it really is. With Playroom, it really is. And on top of that, because you've got the screen mirroring on at all times, and it's so easy to just pop the headset off and put it on someone else's head, and it just fits, that it becomes a social experience, which I was really surprised at.
And the other thing also that I think is really important to stress there is the experience I've had with Pool Nation VR or AltSpace VR, anything where it's just a very casual experience where you're in a room doing something with other people that have avatars. It becomes highly social, much more social than playing an Xbox Live Arcade game, because you have that physical presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which makes a huge difference. I mean, that's so important to the Oculus platform that a big part of what they talked about 2 weeks ago was the importance of having avatars that carry over from game to game. That's a huge part of why Facebook, the most social company in the world, decided to invest in that.
Right. Yep. And there's also that game, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, which is a really great use of both the headset and the social screen, because the person in the headset has to manipulate a bomb, but they don't have the instructions. The people who are in the room with the TV have the instructions to tell you what to do.
Is available on PlayStation VR now too.
Available on PlayStation VR, and that is just an awesome use. And actually, that's the kind of thing that I'm looking forward to with VR. Are these experiences that can only be done with VR, like what you're saying, like the Playroom, where one person has headset on, the other players can be interacting with them. That's great. Multiplayer games in VR, I'm really interested to see what that turns into, because
Hover Junkers is awesome, and Battlezone is multiplayer.
Battlezone is.
One of the things I meant to mention too is that this thing has a microphone integrated as well. So the microphone, it automatically switches to that mic as soon as you turn the thing on. So,
wow, that's cool. Okay. So that can be used for multiplayer then, obviously.
Yeah, they actually use it in Playroom. All the characters, anytime I would speak, they'd all answer back to me in the same voice. Or even if you say, like, the little robot that floats around, if you say hello to it, it'll wave to you and things like that. But anyway.
How is Riggs, by the way? Because that was one of the big Sony first-party
Riggs is great.
releases.
I don't know that it's going to be like a big system seller or anything like that.
Right.
It's
What do
really
you think?
good.
What do you
Kind of
think
mixed
is
reviews.
what is the system seller right now?
I've heard Batman is great, but the thing is it's not going to be.
Even though it's
I don't
short,
know. Well,
it's-
see, the thing is I don't think it's going to be one game. I think it's going to be like the same way that I think the Vive really now is
Isn't the
happening.
system seller the fact that it's just VR?
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right.
But how long will that take it though? Like how many millions
Yeah,
of units
I mean,
can you sell off of that alone?
In fairness, like the Wii was a really kind of neat toy, but the thing that really made it viable and exciting was the game Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Sure, and what I'm saying is I think that the ease of use is a big thing. I think the fact that it's VR, like Phil says, is the selling point. And then I think it's going to be a critical mass of, I don't think I think if you want to point to one game, Batman, Rez, Thumper, Battlezone, those could all be, I think, considered. Rush of Blood also can all be considered system sellers, but I don't think one of those games by itself is going to be like, oh my God, everyone has to go out and buy a VR. I think what it'll be is like, you're just hearing of so many great experiences that I want it.
Right.
I do wonder, and obviously a lot of this is just going to be based on allocation, but is it possible that they could sell this holiday season more PSVRs than PS4 Pros?
I don't know.
That would be pretty interesting.
Well, I mean, just think about the enthusiasm that you hear from people who are picking up the machine. Because despite what critics have said, which has been kind of a mixed bag, every person I've actually talked to who's bought the PSVR is really happy and excited about the purchase and excited to show it to friends. And so you now have this kind of post-release virality. And you just brought up earlier in the show, is anyone going to pick up a PS4 Pro, or has anyone pre-ordered it, or do you know anyone who has? And the answer was no. So it may be that the PSVR is really the type of new thing that people are excited about, much more than just playing something that they already own in 4K.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
No,
True. Will Sony be able to sell more PSVRs than Nintendo will sell NES Minis? I mean, that's the real.
Well, if any place had NES Minis to sell, yeah.
True.
Those things will be hotcakes, absolutely.
They will be. All right, Greg, you want to talk about anything else?
No, I mean, all I've been doing is spending the week with my face in that headset. So,
yeah.
How must that thing smell?
Delicious.
It's got a certain musk now.
Does that $500 get you a thing of Febreze at least?
It does come with a lens wipe though, right?
It does come with a lens wipe, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I heard
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Phil,
yes.
you want to tell us about the games that you have been playing?
Well, I would like to first announce my newly opened Patreon. It's called Get
Buy
Phil
Phil a VR.
Buy Phil a PSVR. You'll get absolutely nothing each month, but
The satisfaction that
that knowing
you have
that
a PSVR.
you'll get me talking about the PSVR on Player One Podcast, and isn't that worth? So I have been playing, and I want to talk to you about this, CJ.
Yeah, sure.
I've been playing Paper Mario Color Splash.
Ooh.
Me too.
On the Wii,
I'm interested about this.
which
Me
you
too.
are a huge fan of. It sounds like.
Me?
Yes.
Yes, I would characterize that as corrate.
Okay. So I want to find out
imagining
why.
you hate the game. This is going to be.
I
good.
don't.
Oh
I don't.
no!
I don't hate it. I don't
Uh-huh.
hate it. I'm just. It's gorgeous looking.
Yes.
It's really funny.
Yes.
It's got a great personality and just
Sure
some
does.
really clever usages of the paper environments and everything like that.
True.
It sounds like you're breaking up with a girl here, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
It's not you, Paper Mario. It's
No, it's you.
and for the record, I have no idea what that is like. That particular experience. It's always the opposite way around with me, as you can imagine. As you can imagine. The battle system, which you seem to really be into,
Phil, don't break my heart. I haven't played it. Please don't ruin this
game down.
Here is the thing. I mean,
okay.
So sticker star. Let's start there.
Sticker star. It's more like sucker star.
Yeah,
Sucker
that was the
star.
bad one.
Yeah.
Which started off very good.
Nope.
In my opinion, and
wrong.
CJ, if you're not going to take this seriously, then we're going to have to ask you to leave.
Right.
You gonna put me in jail for that comment?
After this podcast is over,
star.
I'm gonna run a tribunal on you. We're gonna get
appoint a special prosecutor. Okay.
Yeah.
That game's problem to me, anyway, is that you didn't get anything out of the battles, and you used up your stickers, which were.
And what do you get out of these
tough
battles?
to get replacements for? So this game does a little bit differently. Where
you get stickers for the next battle.
You usually get a card. You get cards pretty frequently. You can also buy them quite cheaply, actually.
Yeah.
Which I've been doing. But also, I don't know how far you are, Phil, into the game. But there's also a feature that unlocks a little bit later. That's like a roulette wheel, where you spend 10 coins. If you're out of cards, you can spend 10 coins and get like a wheel that you spin and stop and get an attack for 10 coins, which is pretty good. So I have not felt underpowered yet. There was one encounter, which was a boss encounter, where I lost and had to start over. But I've been liking it in that I don't feel like the battles are as frequent as they were in Sticker Star, and I feel like I'm getting enough out of them to continue. I know there are some people, including Dan Reichert on Giant Bomb, who didn't like the game's battle system and just didn't have fun with it. But I also changed, so the battle system has you pick a card and then fill it with color and then swipe the screen. You can in the option screen,
autofill color.
In the option screen, you can change it over to the advanced setting where you still fill the things up with color, but it's the same screen you're picking cards on. So you eliminate a step.
Yeah, that's
that didn't work for you.
Putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm is what
didn't
that
work
is.
For you. I mean, a year and a half ago, people were complaining that games didn't use the touchscreen enough, and now you have one that does, and people don't like it.
Yeah, but there's using the touchscreen in a good way, and using the touchscreen in this way, because it does feel like you are correct in that the battles do not happen as frequently, which is good, because every time the battles happen, it's a pain in the patoot, because suddenly I have to stop watching my screen and look down at my pad and flip through the little cards and find the card I want, and I still have to hold down to color it in, and then I have to click okay, I've decided which card I want to use, and okay, now I'm going to flick the card back up, and then it just turns into a regular old
Paper Mario
style fight with the timed button presses, which makes me wonder, why am I bothering with all this card nonsense when it just is the exact same type of Paper Mario?
So it's Sticker Star.
It's Sticker Star. And
that's upsetting.
And my other problem with it is that the battles do absolutely nothing for you. There's no leveling up.
Oh, that sucks.
There's no improving your character.
Because that's what I liked about the last one.
That
the Mario and Luigi Paper Saga.
There's more stuff to paint later on. So I mean, you do get more the ability to hold more paint. So that's something.
But no, there isn't. Yeah. There's.
But you're right. You don't improve your character, except I guess it depends where you are.
What you earn is more
later in the game
to use in the next battle.
Later in the game, obviously they don't show this to you or anything, but you can hit some enemies and it'll just kill them and not actually put you into a battle.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
That's smart.
Yeah. So just sort of proving the fact that the battles are meaningless and skipping them does not affect you at all.
Well, you're right.
Right? I mean, everything other than the battle system is great.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the writing is absolutely fantastic. The graphics are amazing.
It's clever and it's beautiful looking.
The music is absolutely fantastic.
Is really good.
Ever since Nintendo had instituted the policy where they were going to record all of their music with live instruments, it's just been fantastic. Mario Kart 8's soundtrack is fantastic. This is similarly fantastic. There's one area of the game where they play Super Mario Brothers 2 theme, and it is just awesome.
Right.
I am in.
So I'm excited about it.
I like it more than Sticker Star, I will say.
Well, I like it more than Sticker Star too, but
Star is my friend, because that was the worst Paper Mario game ever made.
I know. I liked Sticker Star at the beginning, but man, did that game get tedious. This one so far, I'm sticking with it.
Well,
color me satisfied.
I really want to see if you get to the end, though, because these games, the problem I have with them is they are too long, actually. Almost
That's
without
the problem
exception.
they had with... Never mind.
I have heard there's at least one area in this game that a lot of people online anywhere are saying is a real slog. I have yet to get to that point. And I probably put about 10 hours or so into it already. So, yeah, I'm feeling good about the game. But, I can certainly see why people wouldn't enjoy the battle system in particular. I have no problem with it, personally.
Yeah, it's not good. The battle system, that is.
As somebody who is used to iPhone games where you do a lot of flicking and touching and all that stuff that you do on touchscreens, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get a stylus out for it either, which I like. I mean, I know the touchscreen on the Wii U gamepad is a resistive touch, I think, is the kind of thing.
Resistive touch too
that they use. But I feel like I can pretty well, do what they want you to do.
Seems to have a resistive touch.
We got another game to use, or another song to use in the outro.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're not
kind of enjoying it.
Okay. Well, how far are you? How far are you?
A few areas into it so far.
Okay.
I'm not 10 hours in, but I've beat the, gotten the first few little mini color stars or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've been going back and trying to clear out as many paint splatters as I can. Trying to 100% the areas.
You're gonna love a mechanic that comes up a little later in the game that I'll go ahead and spoil for you right now.
Go for it.
A Nabbit type creature appears. You're familiar with Nabbit?
I know Nabbit.
Anyway, so he goes to a particular area on the map, and he starts removing the.
He undoes your progress.
Undoes your progress.
Good. That sounds great. That sounds like a really good addition.
No, that one does not sound like a good addition. No. And another one that you're really going to love is Kamek, the wizard.
Yeah, the wizard. Yes, the
one who used to be a girl and
what?
Wasn't she female at one point and now is male, or back or vice versa?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
I don't know about that.
Kamek appears in this game.
Yeah.
And he basically will do a random thing to your cards during the battle. So you won't be able to run. You can't flee.
Or reason to ignore the battles.
You won't be able to, you won't be able to do the roulette wheel thing that I described. And he'll do something to your cards. So the ones I've seen are he'll give you only 6 of your cards at random, and you have to use only those for the battle. Or he'll flip over your entire card stash, and you have to just
can't see which ones they are.
See which ones you picked. And then the other thing that I've seen is he'll assign all of your cards as one card. He'll pick a card that you did have, and then all of your cards will be that card. And you'll have to finish the battle with that. You get 300 coins for doing it, but it's a little gimmicky for sure.
Yeah.
So get ready for that.
I am looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm enjoying the game. I'm playing a lot of it.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
Like I said, it's at least 10 hours.
I don't know.
What else you got?
I don't know. What else do I have here? Let's see. I also picked up Dragon Quest Builders.
Yay!
It's a good little game.
I'm gonna be sitting around the house for a week, so I figured that would be a good way to waste my time.
Why are you sitting around the house for a week?
Huh? Because I'm getting surgery.
Oh,
getting surgery this week, right?
Yeah,
just random surgery.
My goal, yeah. Just whatever.
Feel
go
like
in there.
Now's
go
the
in
time.
there.
What do you got?
Take out whatever you guys need
to spend. What can I get?
What is it? No, I'm getting my gallbladder out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, how do you feel now, tough guy?
I was curious. You're all right.
Yeah.
That's all.
No. Well, I'm mostly all right. Yeah.
I mean, as all right as you've ever been.
Well, I have a few more rocks in me than I usually have. But
I had a rough week too. I have new glasses.
Jeez, are you okay?
At all times. I
can
wear them at all times. Do you see them on my face?
See your no.
I don't.
Oh, hey,
you got something against glasses?
Does the glasses work okay with the VR?
Yep.
The headset?
Yep.
Okay.
It's actually that's one of the big points that everyone's made in hardware reviews is that it's probably the most glasses friendly headset on the market right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Cool. No, I picked up Dragon Quest Builders and have just played a little bit so far, but it seems like a pretty cool game.
Did you pick it up for the PS4 or the Vita?
PS4.
Of course.
I just love
Vita games.
And of course I did get the Vita one, but I do love the look of that game, and it's just so relaxing to play that thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I still I still prefer the just throw you into the worldness of Minecraft and just let you go. I know you guys
understand.
I like the quests.
Need the structure.
I like the structure
because otherwise it's not a game. I like the giant sandbox.
Well, okay, let's debate that for a second though, because you can still do that. You don't have to progress down any path if you don't want to. It's there. But if you want to go and create incredible things and massive castles and all of that, you can do that right out of the box.
Can
There you go. Suck on
Yeah,
that,
sure.
Theobald.
Does it
I
have
mean, of course.
Does it have the all the different options? Like how many different varieties of stone does it have? Does it have the gems and emeralds and all those things? Does it have the red stones where you can create your own circuitry? And if you really wanted to,
Phil, you're imposing your own story on Ethan's gameplay. I think that's very.
I don't know. I'm not. It's not a story.
You say that you're a warrior of freedom in open world games.
It's not a story. It
sounds like you're not.
It's
and again, Phil, I think that they.
So your answer is no.
My answer is no, and not as far as I can see. But I think they are similar games that satisfy two different kind of itches.
Wrong.
It's.
No, and I sound like I'm smack talking Dragon Quest Builders, but no, Dragon Quest Builders is fantastic from what I've played so far. I'm just saying that I like the freedom. I like the big sandbox. I'm the guy. I'm the kid who dumped out his Lego bricks on the floor and just built whatever. Clearly, you guys all had the instruction manuals in front of you.
Yep,
I think that's a good comparison. Right. And yeah,
what
absolutely.
was on the box? So there you go.
You're absolutely right, and I am okay with that.
There it is.
Yeah.
So, okay, but no, it seems pretty cool so far, though. I am enjoying it.
I'm surprised by how much I like third person instead of first person as well. I like controlling a character. I like being able to more easily see from a top-down perspective the environment as a result.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Minecraft in third person.
I guess you can, but
No, there's no guessing.
no, of course you can, but it doesn't feel like that's like putting it.
Experience is what I think you're saying, right? Because you're the voxel character, and
right. Yeah,
Wrong.
I mean the thing is that feels like playing Skyrim in third person, which yes you can do, but it's not really designed with that in mind.
I see. Okay, keep moving that goalpost, Einhorn.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Here's the thing. No, and this is the ultimate litmus test. No, I know. But here's a litmus test, I think, for gamers in general. I fully expect that a lot of people would prefer Minecraft, but for me, I've bought Minecraft, I think, 3 different times, and I always get to a point where I just say, all right, I'm safe now, and I don't know what to do next, and I just stop playing it. This game has kept me playing longer than I've ever played Minecraft.
You know what you do next, Ethan?
What?
You point yourself in a direction, and you explore, and you see what you find.
Well, I have fun with that.
Boring as hell.
Oh no! That's
what I did in No Man's
Sky. That's called. Yeah. Well, yeah, but see, that's the problem. No Man's Sky didn't have anything to find as you would explore.
Yeah,
Minecraft actually does. So, plus it helps support the alt-right when you, of course, when you play.
No,
not anymore. Not what?
The other thing, Dragon Quest Builders is a great portable game, though, also because those little missions are so short that you can get something done in just like a window of 3 to 5 minutes and feel good about your progress.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, was that a physical release?
No, I wish it was. Yeah, Seabake gave me hell because I chose to get that instead of Criminal Girls 2, which was a physical release.
Jeez.
Oh, now that is something you'll have to
Criminal
pick up,
Girls
right?
2.
You will be buying that at some point, right?
At some point, possibly, probably.
Yeah.
It's not prioritized.
Well,
it's part of the special collection.
Ethan, you have to finish Criminal Girls 1 before you can move on.
You gotta. Yeah, I mean, you gotta get the story.
Otherwise,
the continuity
be lost. Yeah.
You're not gonna have any idea why you're touching those panties.
Yeah, actually, Kotaku did have an article that just came out that said basically 2 Vita panty games just came out. Which one should you buy? The answer, of course, being neither. But yeah.
The answer, of course, for Ethan is I need to pass these down to my children one day.
Why is this a choice?
This non-sunsetted library is important for them to have. So,
hey, but I'll just say that it is
Gaming
nice
at its finest.
That at least in Japan we're getting both Dragon Quest Builders, which is, in my opinion, a AAA game, and World of Final Fantasy, which is another AAA. Those are the last big ones I think we'll ever see for the platform, and they're both this month. But that's,
and there's a demo for World of Final Fantasy apparently. I think this week on at least PS4. Yeah,
I'll play it in VR.
All I know is the Einhorn household is fast turning into the Smithsonian of portable perversion.
The Smithsonian.
That's actually catchy. Actually, I like that.
The Smithsonian of portable perversion.
Yeah.
Say that 5 times real fast, though. See where it gets you.
Jail.
Yeah.
I also picked up. Speaking of portable games, I picked up River City Tokyo. Rumble.
Ooh, I'm interested about this
for the 3-dimensional S system.
Okay,
how is it? It's River City Ransom. It's new River City Ransom, and all the good and potentially bad that comes with that. Personally, I think it's great. It's you guys all River City Ransom fans?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one didn't make you want to barf?
I get it. I get it. There's a barf joke in the game.
John Candy's in the game, or
no, not Barth. Not Barth. Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, it plays just like the old River City Ransom game. I mean, it looks like it's all pixely, old school graphics, so it looks like the old River City Ransom game. It's got the same kind of grindy, gather coins and power yourself up at shops mechanic, which I know I've seen some people online complaining about. They don't like that aspect of it, which is like that's
River City Ransom.
That's the whole point of River City Ransom, which I love that sort of thing. So I'm having a blast with it, just slowly going through the game, going from town to town, map to map, area to area, beating up punks, gathering coins, buying new books to learn new techniques and skills. So I'm having a lot of fun with it. So
sweet.
Yeah, totally
That's
worth
an
it.
eShop game, right? How much was that?
There's a physical release of that too, actually.
Oh wow.
There is? Okay.
Albeit scarce, certainly.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's very hard to find.
It is single player, right? Just like the original.
Yes, I don't think there's any sort of multiplayer mode.
Okay.
I thought the original was multiplayer.
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm
pretty positive.
Sure, the first game was multiplayer.
I want to say that it was too, but I'm not gonna bet the house.
Wikipedia.
Xbox, Bing, River City Ransom multiplayer? Question mark. But it's kind of cute. They also have was it multiplayer?
Oh, there is. Okay.
There you go.
I think sorry to cut you off again, Phil, but there was the River City Ransom Advance that came out. I think that was probably single player.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, there's in addition to the main story mode, which I'm still working my way through. There's a rumble mode where it's just kind of a free for all beat 'em up kind of thing, and then there's actually a dodgeball mode.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Where it's not quite a full version of like the Super Dodgeball, but it is you throwing dodgeballs around trying to smack other people out of the ring.
God, I love Super Dodgeball.
Well, whoever put this together then understands the audience. And actually, who did? Is this M2 or what was the dev team?
You know what? I have no idea.
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea. I mean, I suppose I could look right now.
Yeah, damn, I love that.
Fire it up.
New 3DS XL. That is a pretty looking machine.
Yeah.
Not an XL.
That's right.
This is
the tiny one.
Small one. Note the faceplate on there.
That's right.
Yes.
Your XL doesn't have that. Verifying save data. Data check completed. Arc System Works. A+ Games.
Arc System Works makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's A+ Games?
Never heard of them.
Yeah, but no, it's a lot of fun. So I do recommend, if you are a River City fan, picking it up. If be it eShop or if you can find the physical one, go for it.
Have to go look around for the physical release.
Yeah, it's you'll probably have to go online for it.
Well, the nice thing about stuff like that around here is that the allocations are really low for stuff like that, but also you don't have the like a huge group of people looking for them at the same time. So it's a little bit easier to stumble across that stuff.
Yeah, amusingly enough, it seems like the easiest place to get a hold of it down here, anyway, is eBay. There seems to be a handful of sellers who have like 200 copies of the game that they're just selling on eBay for like.
Nice.
And I mean, it's not like I don't think that it's scalpers. I think it's just small businesses like mom and pop stores. I don't think it's some dude hanging outside GameStop buying every copy that they get in. So, but what else have I been playing? I picked up Hyrule Warriors Legends, which I won't waste much time talking about just because we've talked about that game.
Well, now you have the right system for it, so
you do.
Yeah,
I do. So, and it was on sale on Amazon. It was a gold box, they call it.
Yeah, how much was it?
It was $20.
It's worth it.
Nice.
Worth it.
$20.
Totally.
It's fun. Yeah.
That's a good game, actually, and portably.
Yeah.
It works really, really well for flights
Amusu.
and whatnot.
Yeah. It actually works pretty well on 3DS. Other than that, I have been again, thanks to our good pal Mark McDonald, enjoying some Res Infinite.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to dive into that more completely this week because all I've done is played the first level. Really,
I noticed that I'm the only person who on our little planning list for the show actually put the infinity symbol.
Yeah.
Very nice.
In the title.
Congratulations.
You guys all wimped out and just typed Res Infinite, whereas I put Res Infinity symbol because
nice.
I'm hardcore like that. Yeah.
That's what you bring to the show, Phil.
That's a good game.
That is a good game.
That's a good game.
Very good.
Yeah, Res is fun.
Yeah.
So I that's one of the reasons why I do want to pick up the PSVR is to
Res.
play that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Res and I watched the trailer for Thumper and that looks pretty great.
Yeah.
So
Thumper, you can
awesome.
still play it without VR.
You can,
What's
but
that?
man, is it ever way more intense playing in VR?
Thumper you can play without VR?
That's right.
It's not required.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
So I would highly recommend, whether you have the headset or not, go get Thumper. It's really good.
Yeah, that and 100-foot robot golf.
I was just going to bring that up. Have any of you guys played that yet?
I haven't tried that.
I have not yet. I really want to.
Yeah, I want to too. As I said, even having another VR headset, I still want the PSVR because there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Because of those games, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because this 100-foot robot golf is by the guys who did Runabout.
That's correct.
I really enjoyed. Roundabout. What did I say?
Runabout. Is
that the Tom Selleck fighting mechanical spiders movie?
No, that was Runaway.
Yeah. It's Runaway.
It's fantastic. I love that you guys both knew that.
That is Runaway is the first movie I ever saw boobies in, actually.
Really? I watched that again recently. I picked it up on DVD just for the boobies scene. No,
did you actually bought it on DVD?
Really?
I bought it on DVD. Yeah,
it on DVD.
It's not available yet on Blu-ray. And
you have
no. Our confusion here, CJ, is not your choice of format for buying.
Yeah.
No, Runaway.
Wait a second. Though Phil, if I recall, had Blues Brothers 2000 so that he could complete the collection.
Well, yeah,
that's true.
Otherwise,
didn't you have Jim Cotta, CJ?
I have Jim Cotta on DVD, correct?
Hey,
actually, don't. I just bought Amazon Woman on the Moon on DVD, which is a fine film. Also has boobies.
No
from the
Kentucky
80s.
Fried Movie.
It's no Kentucky Fried Movie, correct? But it's still fun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. What? You got a problem with that?
I have Wing Commander. That's my shame.
Does the Wing Commander DVD have the episode 1 trailer on it? Because that's
that was the only
reason anyone saw it in the theater. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we were stupid.
Now watch this terrible Star Wars ripoff.
Yeah, really stupid seeing movies just to see a friggin' trailer. What
Greg?
in the?
Greg, were you referring to episode 1 right there?
No.
Hey.
No.
Zingo.
Remember episode 1 was what ruined my. Didn't that come out on May 6th? I think that came out on my birthday.
Did it?
I think so. I think we went and, at least we went and saw it because we all like all the people from Ziff Davis went and saw it the same day, right? The company bought us
May 19th.
Okay, so
May 19th.
My birthday's the 16th, so for some reason I thought it was on my birthday. But anyway, yeah, I just remember being so it's like wow, it was terrible. Ruined my birthday.
Sorry, man. You better now?
Freaking George Lucas. No.
That's it. That's all I've played.
Alrighty, Ethan,
I swear to God, if you spend 15 minutes talking about aliens, colonial marines, you are fired.
Yeah, I see that on his.
Now, there's a
list.
By the way, I own a copy of Colonial Marines for the
as well. You should. And actually, there's a very specific reason I chose that, which I'll get to in a moment. But this week, I spent the majority of my week at Steam Dev Days, which was absolutely amazing. Was a really incredible environment that was all about furthering the art of games, which was really wonderful. I don't know if you guys know who Brian Provenciano is, the guy who did Retro City Rampage.
Yes.
But he and I ended up talking for a couple of hours, both feeling like the difference between Steam Dev Days and Casual Connect was kind of that night and day thing. And neither of us felt like we belonged at Casual Connect. It just didn't feel comfortable. But man, going to Steam Dev Days where people were giving the advice of just making the game you want to play, and you had everyone on hand who were making all these amazing games in VR that you've been playing and loving on hand to answer any question, was really absolutely incredible. So they ended up having a couple of interesting keynote speakers that brought up some glimpses into the future of VR. First of all, Valve is super, super behind VR and spending a lot of money and resources to continue building it. Tim Sweeney was there from Epic, and he was saying that ultimately they think that within the next decade we're going to be all playing VR on 8K individual screens for each eye. Which just imagine the processing power required for that. But he said
Sounds
that's
like
when
a lot
it
of
becomes,
cables.
Yeah. Well, that's another part of the story that was interesting. The second big thing, and this is more near term, was Valve just kind of dropped in there that they are talking to a company about technology that would allow you to have Vive untethered, which
That's
is really, really exciting.
That's going to be the next big hurdle.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But supposedly it's just data speed transfer, and there's a company that's focusing on that specifically for VR that they're talking to, which was great to hear. The other thing is they showed the new Vive controller, and that was pretty cool. It's something that has the two sticks basically floating in your hands. They're affixed almost Assassin's Creed style on your hands, like the Assassin's Creed blades, so that they can just kind of float near your hands, and so that you can grab them, right? And so the grabbing motions become much more fluid. You have the feeling of all five fingers. Was really, really cool stuff. It's the only thing that makes me nervous about all of this is that these are major, major innovations happening less than a year after they launched their first headset. So I think that this PC market in VR is going to be an arms race, and we're going to be asked to update, like, if you want to stay on top of the curve every single year. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's definitely going to happen. I mean, it's just like graphics cards on PCs, right? I mean, they come out every year with something that leapfrogs last year's. And I imagine the audience that's going to be most agreeable with that is going to be the PC audience. At least if there's a way. And I think they talked about updating the controllers as well as the light boxes too. So, I mean, if you can sort of modularly upgrade the pieces of your setup for a slightly lower cost, I think that's going to be more palatable.
Right, and Oculus the week before said that they're going to have it running on $499 PCs. Right now, it's closer to $1,000 for a PC that'll run Oculus out of the box. So yeah, these things are all coming down in price. But again, one thing that was really wonderful about this event was it was $98 to get in. And the swag bag alone gave you more than $100 worth of stuff. And, that combined with the meals and everything, it made clear that for Valve, it wasn't about trying to make money off of the individual participants. And right in line with that, they were saying, hey, look, don't look at each other as competitors, because we all need to figure this VR thing out. So work with each other. And in that spirit, Valve is giving away pretty much all their research on motion tracking and light boxes.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, making it so everyone can use it, which is fantastic. Yeah. So speaking of the swag bag, I bring it up because it's tied to Aliens Colonial Marines.
Oh boy.
No.
That's where $80 of the content came from?
No, they did not put in the box. The swag bag included a Steam controller and the Steam Link. So that was pretty cool. And really what I wanted to do was
Steamed links.
I wanted to test out the new controller, where the basic idea behind the controller, if you haven't seen it or played with it, is it replaces the right analog stick with a kind of a mouse-style input for your thumb.
It's an NES Max. Keep going.
Yeah, basically. So, the thing is it's supposed to make it much more precise in first-person shooters to be able to aim up and down and stuff like that. And I chose Aliens because that game actually, one of the big frustrations with it is that the aliens would come like at all angles and perspectives. So it was hard to aim. No. I'm saying that was one of the many challenges with that game.
Thousands of first-person shooters on Steam, and you chose Aliens.
Yes. So, and there's a very divided opinions on the controller. Kotaku and IGN, I think, hated it in their reviews, and Gadget thinks it's like the next wave of controllers. But I sit somewhere in the middle where it's like I can see theoretically how this could be long-term a better control mechanism if you really devoted yourself to it. But short-term, it really is very hard to acclimate to. So
I've heard that.
Yeah, and there's also presets that players can vote on that become kind of the optimal presets for every game. But again, that's very kind of PC territory stuff. The kind of min-max optimizing for the best experience, tweaking that isn't really my cup of tea. So I'm gonna keep trying it, but right now it's pretty rough.
So tell us about Gears of War 4.
Yeah.
I think that's the other game on your list here that I think we definitely want to cover before we do some tweets and head out of here.
For sure, yeah. Gears of War 4 is, and actually, give me one second here. Hold on.
Oh, Ethan's leaving.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so
try to bring up alien colonial marine. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, Gears of War 4.
Welcome back, Ethan.
Welcome back. Yes. That is one I've been looking forward to for a very long time. I've been a fan of the series, and I think that it's exactly the type of series that was good to go on hiatus for a while. Because if you look honestly at Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment, they're all the same game.
Yeah.
This one also feels like the same game. But it's been long enough to where I'm excited to have it back again. So the Coalition's done a really nice job. The sequences that I've run through so far, and I'm only a couple of hours in, are really well paced. It's action packed. It's beautiful. It is more Gears. That's what I was kind of hoping for. That's what I expected. That's what I got. Again, it really does look a generation beyond, which is terrific. This is one of the best looking games that I've played of the current generation. It moves, plays, and feels exactly like you'd expect it to.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
cool.
about it.
All right, then.
Cool.
I can go with that.
Sounds good to me. I've been mostly playing Paper Mario Color Splash. We talked about that already. I like it a lot.
Wrong.
But I know there are people who aren't as into it. I played Resident Infinite, of course, and more res is good. Any amount of res is fantastic. More of that, and I guess I've heard a lot about Area X, so I really want to try that. After hearing a little bit about that on 8.4 Play, I definitely got to unlock that whole thing. Then I also played Battlefield 1 on EA Access.
So is the single player campaign on there?
Yes, you can play
really
10 hours of it. And,
Uh-oh.
I think this is something that is uniquely my own taste, maybe. But, I love Splatoon. I love Overwatch. I have found that shooters based in reality and, like, real wars and stuff, I'm not really interested anymore. Sorry to say. So it starts off. It's a pretty interesting little intro to the game, where you're jumping between different people in the war, each ending with your death, and it's scripted. In fact, at the beginning of it, they tell you that you're going to be dead in these. Don't even try surviving, which is interesting. But I'm just I'm not meant to play the realistic war games, I think. And
you're such a disappointment to me, John.
I know. I'm sort of interested in the new Call of Duty though, because everything that they showed at E3 made it look kind of like Dead Space, and I know that I shouldn't, because it's a future war thing, right? Like I know that I shouldn't buy it because I know I probably won't like it, but
well, now wait a second though, CJ. You liked Wolfenstein quite a bit, didn't you?
no, Wolfenstein gave me motion sickness. So
okay.
I was not really able to play much of Wolfenstein, but I like that world, yeah, but that's much more over the top and comic booky than anything.
Well, I was just going to ask because I wonder if it's more about it being realistic versus over the top, or if it's more about the fact that Wolfenstein gives you a protagonist, like a character to follow through a story that's interesting, that grows. Because the thing with Battlefield, as you said, all the characters die; they're meaningless based on your description.
Yeah, and a little bit further into the single player campaign, you switch between different people. It doesn't sound like you're always going to be the same person. So I don't think later on that those people necessarily die, but that's how it starts off. Yeah, Wolfenstein, if I could get past that motion sickness thing, I'd probably really like it. But yeah, the realistic war thing, not my thing. So.
Lame. You ruined the show.
I'm sure other people will really enjoy it, though. I'm glad that I have EA access, that I can spend up to 10 hours playing it and not actually buy it. So, anyway, that's it for that. Let's do some tweets.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, let's do a tweet at least. Let's do this one from hacker alias USFHBomb, who says, on a scale from 1 to 10, how big of an ass is Michael Pachter following his late but not great comment about Satoru Iwata?
I don't know what the comment was. I saw Twitter blowing up about it earlier, but
so there was I forget if he did an interview with somebody, but he was talking about Nintendo and the late but not so great Satoru Iwata, which I thought was quite a low blow, considering. Wow. I mean, the only way that Michael Pachter is an analyst. Of course, he's looking at the business side of games. And if you want to say that Iwata was responsible for the Wii U, which was a failure, you could maybe position it late but not so great. I think that's a very poor choice of words.
Very.
Is ignorance. Yeah. It ignores his entire career, which is much greater than the failure of Wii U, quite frankly. Yeah. Do I think everybody should be jumping on him? No. It's definitely an S9 comment, but yeah, I don't think too much of it.
Yeah, I think he deserves a little bit of the.
He deserves a ribbing.
Pachter and not Iwata, to be clear, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes,
Pachter.
Yes.
Let me be clear. Yeah, how big of an ass is Michael Pachter? I'd say 10 on the ass scale, I guess. Is that how we're going? This?
Yeah.
What do you think, Stuart?
It's pretty bad.
Ethan?
I think it should just be resolved with a quick trip to Nintendo headquarters and on camera have Shigeru Miyamoto slap him in the face just once. That's it. On camera. That's it.
Let's do it.
I have no opinion.
Okay.
There you go.
All right then. Let's end it with this one then. Hacker alias Andrew 790262 says, do any of you listen to any other gaming podcasts? If so, which ones? I've got my podcast client with me right here. I can tell you which ones I listen to. The 8-4 Play podcast.
Yeah,
absolutely. The CADcast. DLC.
I don't listen to that one.
You don't listen to the CADcast? Okay.
No,
they've also been going for over 10 years. DLC with Jeff Kanata and Christian Spicer. Listen to Remaster, which is a Really good show from Relay FM. They have a guy who was formerly at Sony talking about the industry, and they do a PlayStation VR episode this week that's really quite good. Listen to Power Pros podcast with Chris Hoffman.
Yeah, well.
How long is your commute?
Not very long.
And I'm serious because I don't know how you find the time to listen to all this.
Not very long. I listen to the back of my play, and I'll tell you what, I put podcasts on while I'm doing things around the house too. That's a large portion.
Don't you interact with your wife and child while you're doing things around that? And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm totally serious because I cannot find time to listen to podcasts.
I do interact
I find
with my other family members. But they often, leave in the morning before I'm out
they
to
just
work.
Don't much care for me.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, but I listened to quite a few.
I'd add a couple to that. I really like the Game Informer podcast. That one is a lot of fun. And then I listen to a lot of the IGN ones.
It's in the voice chat. I listen to that one too.
Yes. Yeah, Game Scoop is really good. I like their the PlayStation one that they do. Also, the Kind of Funny Games stuff is really good. I like Kind of Funny Games and the PS XOXO.
Yeah, I listen to Radio Free Nintendo also. Who else? I listen to a bunch. Anyway, I'll put some links in the show notes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, you already mentioned there's two that I listen to as much as I can, which are 8-4 Play and Back in My Play.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky if I get time to listen to full episodes of either of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, shall we do the outro?
Yep.
Sure.
Why not?
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thanks for getting to the end of this episode.
That was rough.
Boy.
What was rough?
That
Whatever just happened there.
Did something happen to the record or to the video stream?
It stuttered like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I'll start over again. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thanks for getting to the end of this podcast. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something that you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our email addresses, our contact information, our blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
Yes, I don't know when I'll be working on a new one, but I will soon.
Generation 16 episodes will also appear there.
Working hard on episode 19.
Nice. And you'll find a message board where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99.
Cheap.
To pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. It gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, the what have you. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
You can find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can check out archives of our shows. And if you've liked what you heard, and how could you, you can head over to patreon.com/P1Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. It keeps CJ buying more RPGs with lackluster battle systems.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
And if you have a couple bucks left over, you can head over to generation-16.com, where you'll find a link to the Patreon page for Greg Seward's fantastic web series about America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Yes, please. And
Yeah,
remember,
you
Extra
have
Life
more.
is on its way. Extra Life is on its way. $1,700 raised so far. I'm going for $5,500 this year, so please give if you can. Extra-Life/participant/Seward. Come donate at least $30. You get to pick any NES, Famicom, or Famicom Disk System game you want me to play for an hour. on November 19th.
Ooh.
So please come do that.
Oh,
Nice.
Pick something bad.
Take advantage of it, Phil. Pick something
terrible.
that's gonna ruin my life.
Yes. Okay.
Deadly Towers.
Oh,
Oh, you can be more creative than that.
Use a weapon.
CJ. There you
Yeah.
go. Thank you so much, CJ.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
And I hope everything goes good this week.
yes. Good
Hope
luck.
everything.
Yes.
You hope everything goes well.
That too.
You know what? He just took it back.
I hope you die on the operating table, you jackass. Jeepers creepers.
Yeah, it's like Michael Pachter came into the room and said something.
Oh,
wow.
my goodness.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Michael Pachter better watch it, because we all saw what Nintendo did to Gunpei Yokoi.
Oh.
So,
Yep. We all know how.
I don't think I'm ever going to be okay with those jokes. The more you guys, I just don't. Never.
No.
Like it's not like it just happened recently.
oh,
No.
man. Greg,
Too
Hi.
soon.
thank you for putting up with us.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
And
Ethan,
this week you don't have to edit.
that's
Yeah.
true. He loves
I
that.
think I and everyone else is quite relieved.
And Ethan,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you
Thank
for doing
you.
that voodoo that you do so well.
Yeah.
Oh,
And next week is 10 years.
10 years next week.
Should we get Rich Grisham in, or I feel like it's just
Yeah.
gonna we've
Just gonna
celebrated.
do a thing.
We've stroked ourselves so much on the other milestones. We're just gonna let 10 years go by.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I hope I'm healed up enough to make it on the show.
Directly from Phil's hospital bed.
Hello, gentlemen. Don't know why the gallstones would affect my voice like that, but
Yeah, and I don't know either.
yeah, well, we have very bad doctors down here, Greg. They don't. It's less of a
It's a back alley gallbladder removal, isn't it?
let's.
Yeah.
The gallbladder has to be around here somewhere. Hold still.
We'll find it
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
next week.
Next week.
10 years.
Toodles.
We hope.
10
Bye-bye.
big years.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.